It means nothing to us. Literally. It's pretty, I find it interesting. Okay? Again, as long as it doesn't pose a threat and it's far, far away and it's doing nothing, it's just chilling in its little orbit, then that's cool. You know, you guys can go
hooking up with fizzy drinks,
let's have a
binging
joint.
burgers or beers. They're out.
investigate it. Also, I find it really cool how they, you know, have the ability to like check out what's out there like 4 billion light years away and stuff. Don't know how they do it, but they do. Okay, that's magic. I'm telling you right there. That is magic. How do they do it? I don't know. I really don't know. Little microscope, little sonar technology. I sound stupid, yeah.
At around 330 million light years across, it represents around 0.27% of the observable universe and is an incredibly large region of space, often referred to as a supervoid. It's around 700 million light years away from us and is remarkably empty. Current estimates suggest it only has around 60 galaxies in it, whereas a similarly sized region in
only 60 galaxies.
is expected to have around 2,000 galaxies. To put this into perspective, if our galaxy, the Milky Way, was in the center, it would only have been in the past few decades that we've had any idea that other galaxies actually existed.
Bro, I'm so confused at everything he just said. All I know is that it's a void. And we gotta avoid it. Seriously. Wow. I don't know anything about space.
Yo.
I thought I was pretty knowledgeable. I've done videos on
Do you
space, but
fucking mind?
voids, spooky business.
Get the fuck away from me.
A star, which is around 1,470 light years from Earth, sometimes dims by as much as 22%, which raises the question of what could be blocking it. One of the leading theories is that there's a partially built Dyson sphere around it, with the civilization
I was thinking like Dyson vacuum.
already benefiting from the huge amounts of energy. Could the star's strange behavior be truly the result of an alien megastructure, or something we're yet to discover that causes
Get the
the same
fuck
effect?
away.
Further studies will reveal the
You
truth for sure.
stupid
I
bitches.
just thought of that ancient aliens meme with the guy with the hair, and he's like, aliens.
Let's head to class, I guess. My first class for the afternoon. It should be... My first class is gym. Great. The gym should be down here. It should be down here. I hate gym class. It should be in here. Then down here. Good morning, maggots. Today we're learning how to, you know, what we're doing, basketball pretty much. Okay. Class dismissed. Okay, so my second class should be here. Good afternoon, class. Class dismissed. Cool. And then my third class and last class until tomorrow. It should be here. Good morning, class. I mean, good afternoon, class. Class dismissed. See you tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, hell yeah. It's break time until home. Home is at 5 p.m. Great. I have to stay here until 5. But hey, I don't mind. Oh well.
alone, okay? I think there's aliens among us. Actually, I'm not going to say that because people are like, she's a believer in aliens. I don't know what I believe, okay? Am I open to the idea of aliens? Sure, why not, okay? Because life is crazy. Our world is crazy, okay? We are on an Earth which is just a spinning ball with a sun and other planets. Can somebody explain this? And we're just rotating around, seriously. Like, if you really, really just sit there and think about it, you're like, what the heck is life? See, I could do a whole video of just me ranting that's just like, what is life? What is this? Like, we were just a thing of rock and then earth and water and animals and now us and evolution. I'm just throwing out words there. That makes me sound smart. You guys put the puzzle pieces together. But think about it. We are, like, we're floating in the middle of this big thing, and it's terrifying. And if you guys don't realize that, then do more research on space, because it's crazy. Mind blown. Seriously. I'm scared. I have my heart palpitations right now. Like, the sun is just hot. I'm just going on. But, like, no, I'm just, like, literally, Chris, I'm gonna go crazy. Think about it. We're just on this floating object in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I sound crazy. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on space, okay? Clearly you've heard some of my rantings, but let me know what you think about it. Are you scared of space? The answer is yes, you should be. I'm just kidding. Alright guys, stick around for some bloopers, and I'll see you when I see you. So excited. Can't believe it. It's me, Lucy McPhee. They love when I do my Lucy impression. I don't know why. Oh, it's intro time. Editors, you have to put it in there, or else I look crazy. You know what I'm talking about, then. Aliens, and he's doing the face. You know. Oh, stop it. I could just keep going on and on about space and how we're like so minute. We're just so tiny compared to everything else out there. There has to be life on other planets.
What else YouTube should so watch?
Upgrade to watch videos ad-free off.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times video game streamers got what they deserve.
You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money. Something really, really, really awful happened during the genetic sequencing of their bodies.
I had to go. Yeah, I had to transfer. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Unfortunately, not every streamer is a pleasant person to be around, and the several that have tried putting on a nice face have been caught doing and saying some pretty heinous things. Just to lighten the mood, tell us in the comments about a streamer you've noticed making a positive impact. Now on to the top 10. Number 10, Carl Reamer.
Last night I was being stupid on my stream, as I normally am.
In March of 2020, professional Call of Duty player Carl Reamer was streaming a few of his favorite games while drinking. However, he got a little too overzealous with his antics. After pausing the game, Reamer would brandish a pistol for a joke only to end up accidentally firing it. Luckily, nobody was hurt as the bullet ricocheted off a metal cup and into one of his monitors. Not only did he get suspended from Twitch, but esports team SOAR would drop him from their roster and a brief statement disapproving of his actions.
I'm just glad nothing else happened.
Number 9. Felix XQC Lenguel.
And it's my line too, like what?
Felix Lenguel has a slightly troubled history in the Overwatch League, and that's putting it gently. He had already faced one suspension after throwing insults towards casters, which made the second suspension even more insufferable. In March 2018, Lenguel put on a display of bad sportsmanship by uttering homophobic slurs targeted towards a player. It wasn't long before Dallas Fuel would release him from the team, while the Overwatch League slapped on a 4-game suspension, as well as a hefty fine of $4,000. There's just no room for toxic behavior in professional gaming. Number 8. Tea Time.
Y'all find me somebody to raid that has no, like, barely any viewers, and we don't know who they are. The goal is to y'all go, everybody in there from my chat, go in there and get banned.
Raids on Twitch are usually a great feature used by bigger name streamers to help increase the audience of smaller channels at the end of their own stream. However, in early 2021, Twitch streamer Tea Time decided to take advantage of this with incredibly bad intentions when he asked his viewers to find a stream with barely any viewers. After deciding to target a female streamer, he would then tell his viewers to spam expletives and claimed he would reward anyone with a sub if they got banned. Following an outcry, Tea Time was seemingly banned and would later apologize.
There's $100 grand up for grabs every week with the NRL's new free-to-play game.
My eyes
NRL
is fucking
Pick
sorry.
Pick the winning margin from 4 nominated matchups
I hope
to
he
win a share
stays
of the
there.
weekly major prize. Head to nrl.com/pickup now.
Number 7. Legendary Leah.
Donate to St. Jude, because kids have cancer, but obviously, I think people should know by now.
Legendary Leah has seen herself in trouble a handful of times. From flashing her viewers to insensitive language, she has yet to be given what some would call real punishments. Her most offensive moment, however, comes from one of her handfuls of seemingly drunk rants in April of 2016, where she went into a full-blown tirade about kids with cancer. Several folks in her chat tried to get her to stop, but to no avail. Shortly after, Leah would apologize and announce she'd be donating to a fund. Number 6. Invader V.
And it doesn't matter how broke you are, if you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly.
One thing a streamer should never do is guilt trip their audience into spending money on them. That is precisely what Invader V did in April 2020, just as the pandemic was storming the world. During a stream, V had made comments towards her viewers, calling the ones who couldn't afford a subscription irresponsible, and even double downing on her statements when her chat called her out.
What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
Let's just say the internet was not having it, and V would face heavy criticism across social media and news outlets. She would later apologize on stream, but the damage had already been done. The lesson here, kids, be respectful and understanding of others' financial situations.
What I said was wrong in any context, but especially in the context of a global pandemic.
Number 5. Hassan Abi.
This is so insane.
You may know Hassan Abi as Hassan Piker of the Young Turks YouTube channel. Others might know him under an entirely different light after what went down in August 2019. During a stream, Piker had mocked U.S. Representative Dan Crenshaw for his missing eye before making some pretty harrowing statements in regards to September 11. In addition to a suspension from Twitch, Piker was widely criticized by politicians and the media. A few days after the stream, Piker would realize his hurtful remarks and apologize, deeming his behavior as inappropriate.
So if they chop an American legal permanent resident, it's okay.
Number 4. Matt Deller Vaughn.
Who is wrong in my stream? Who is it?
Unfortunately, XQC wasn't the only return to streaming in April 2020, almost a decade since the incident, claiming he was a victim of cancel culture.
Oh, this is so cute, like he's cuddling with me because he's scared. He stands up, he took a leak on my lap.
Number 2. Mythprod.
It is a market.
This has to be one of the world's dumbest heists. In 2015, a streamer named MythProd had attempted to steal $250,000 from his viewers by staging a hack. Viewers were expecting him to gamble the money so that he may return a portion of the winnings back to them, something he had done several times in previous streams. However, this bet was too good to pass up for MythProd. So, how did he get caught? In the most humiliating way possible. He displayed the chat box where he had been conversing with his cohorts. Following the outrage, MythProd would be banned from both Twitch and RuneScape.
Avoid Helm. Fire team, that's it.
Do I know you?
Be sure to subscribe to our
Yeah,
channel
I'm
and
your
ring the bell to get
stepsister.
notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for
Okay.
occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Phantom Lord.
What's your name?
96.2. If I lose this,
Katie,
I'm
what's your
retiring.
age?
Remember the whole thing with
Isaac.
T. Martin and his Counter-Strike gaming site with Pro Syndicate?
You wanna smoke
You know,
weed and
the two
smoke with me?
YouTubers who promoted a site they
Sure.
owned without disclosing
Cool.
that information? Well, Phantom Lord went through a similar and equally shady moment. In 2016, the streamer had promoted a CSGO gambling site and did not disclose his ownership of the site, on top of rigging winnings in his favor. Twitch would
Then maybe
quickly ban
fuck
Phantom
off this
for
at
lying
my
to
crib
viewers,
or
and this would
yours.
spark a heated
Yeah,
legal
your
fight
crib.
between the two, with
Okay,
the streamer
done.
suing for $35 million. At the time of this recording, the lawsuit is still going on.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Ladies and gents, at Ladbrokes, our aim is to make racing even more exciting.
Can I name ya?
Introducing our new Chief Entertainment
So-
Officer, Mike Iceberg.
Cool.
I am here to show you.
In yesterday's GTA 5 video, we came to the conclusion that it seems like, at least so far, according to Rockstar, there are going to be 2 separate editions of GTA coming out in the second half of 2021. There, of course, is the GTA 5 expanded and enhanced, but it seems like there's also going to be a GTA Online standalone edition. And in this video, I wanted to go over my top 5 things wanted in a GTA standalone edition. I think it's safe to say, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video, that whatever we get in the expanded and enhanced edition of GTA 5, not everything is going to make its way into the GTA Online standalone. And that's just because, of course, single player versus the online component. We, of course, have seen this in the GTA Online we have now. There's a lot of little minor stuff, but some big stuff that's just not found in GTA Online. So, the top 5
Is
things
he staring at
I think
at
that are
you?
needed in this
Yeah.
upcoming edition of GTA Online. The first thing being a better and more realistic time cycle. Now, what I mean by this, it basically has to do with the weather and the lighting. The gameplay you, of course, are seeing is from single player. It is modded. It looks beautiful. And I do hope we get something along these lines in the upcoming edition of Online. The new console should be more than capable to give us an upgrade in this department. And the good news is that it seems like this is something that Rockstar's actually doing already. With the Cayo Perico update, it wasn't reported by Rockstar, but they did actually change the way certain weathers and certain lighting in the game works. Fog was significantly better, sunsets were significantly better, and there were a few other changes that I have just noticed playing the game. So it seems like this is something that Rockstar is definitely working on. An example of this is what you're seeing right now. In GTA Online, you can see the time, well, this is single player of course, but the time is 1949. In GTA Online, by now, it would be way dark. But you can see, in this modded version of this time cycle, the sun is just now setting. So the time you spend in the day is actually a couple of minutes, or in game time, a couple of hours more than you spend in dark. Also, just look at the colors. That's probably the most obvious thing. Again, though, Rockstar were experimenting with this in the Kyle Perico update, so it is something that is likely to change.
So,
also, and I'm just going to demonstrate this using this mod menu, if we go even an hour past sunset, you can still see there is some light there, which is a lot more realistic than what we have in online at the moment.
love you.
So again,
Love
more
you too,
realistic
Isaac.
lighting, which affects the time cycle. Here we have, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the sunrise. And you
How
can
old are you,
see,
Katie?
before the sun has actually risen, this looks beautiful. And if we go up by an hour,
9 years
actually, let's go
old.
back a little bit, you can see
How old are you, Isaac?
the clouds move beautifully,
15.
the sun comes up, and
How
then boom,
come
and as we
you're
go
at
into
high
the
school
day,
instead of in middle school?
obviously, the game looks
Because I'm
a
smart,
lot
that's
different.
why.
There are some other things that
Okay.
kind of apply to this, that actually this mod does beautifully, that I would love to see in a standalone edition, and it's the lighting around the map.
And plus,
Just
I
take
get
this
whatever I
gas
want.
station. That looks so good at
My
nighttime.
daddy,
And even, you can
Ah.
see up there on the sign, there's moving lights.
my
It's
daddy
animated,
let me
and it
do whatever I
feels
want.
more alive.
Okay.
And something along these lines
Yes,
is another
step
thing I
down.
hope to see in the standalone edition of Online. And the final thing I'll say about this particular topic on the time cycle is I want the weathers to look a lot better. Again, if I am using this mod menu here, you can see we're in the extra sunny weather. It looks pretty standard.
Do you have daddy
We got a clear,
issues?
it adds some
Yeah,
clouds in the
basically,
sky.
babe.
And we have smog,
Okay.
adds some very nice smog to the city. Foggy is much similar to the smog, although this one is a little bit more dense, so it's harder to see. Then overcast, this one is probably one of the best looking weathers in this particular mod, but again, just it's something I hope Rockstar want to do. Rain is something this mod does amazing, and Rockstar definitely can take notes. We have the thunder. This looks pretty dang terrifying, if you want to call weather that, compared to what we have in GTA at the moment. And then of course you have the snow, you even have a blizzard. Stuff like this is something that Rockstar definitely needs to add in the next version of GTA.
Let's
And
head
the
to the
second
crib.
thing that I think
Done.
needs to be
Hey.
added to GTA Online, and even the expanded it.
Here we are, this is the crib. Nice. I know what. This is the bloody crib. Let me show you around, okay? That's the lounge room, dinner table, kitchen, the backyard, bathroom, garage as you can see, upstairs, storage area, 1 bedroom, my bedroom, the 2nd bedroom, no, the 3rd bedroom, bathroom again, so yeah, there's 3 bedrooms basically. Cool, I know. Let's head outside, smoke some weed, and yeah, watch YouTube. Done, babe. They will fuck. Done.
Instead, it's like, oh, there's the Sand King. It'll be $70 freaking on the new consoles. Woo, man! If they can somehow re-release, or however many times they've released this damn game, for $70, I ain't gonna be surprised either. I don't know. So that right there, look, it's a preemptive Rockstar logic. Alright? Just keep it all in mind. And you know, the only other thing that was somewhat big that happened over the last couple of days, a literal random developer, like some random guy, he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make GTA Online load faster. And he did! Bro, GTA Online has been out for 8 years. And I made a video talking about this particular topic way more in depth. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you were interested. But this guy, this is the title of his little post. How I cut GTA Online loading times by 70 freaking %. And when we get down to it, I'm not gonna go into details. He literally cut his loading time from 6 minutes to like 1:30. And as it turns out,
sorry, but
the
I have to
entire
go,
reason
okay?
GTA Online takes so
Oh,
long
good.
to load is because
See ya.
of terrible coding.
Yeah.
And it's something that one guy fixed. Yet 8 years later, the billion-dollar company with 2,000 plus employees, they haven't fixed it. That's all you need to know, really, about GTA Online. Now, since we sort of skipped the last couple of weeks, the only other thing I wanted to mention, because, you know, I always want to just reiterate how terrible the decisions Rockstar make are. How is this boat $2 million? This is literally a dinghy with a terrible machine gun on it. Like, if the machine gun they added was like a friggin' anti-air machine gun, or like the jet machine gun that explodes, alright, fine, sure. You know, I'll give you $2 million. No, this is literally the freaking 50 cal machine gun that, like, doesn't do anything. It barely kills, doesn't blow up anything really. It's not that effective in combat. And because they put that on there, they were like, you know what? We got it. These guys who play GTA Online, $2 million is what they're gonna want to spend for this incredible weaponized dinghy. No, no. This thing is a piece of garbage. This should have been the free vehicle. Matter of fact, that would have been an insult to free vehicles if they made this free. Because it's, at the end of the day, a very lazily done vehicle. They literally took an existing vehicle, slapped a machine gun on it, and called it a day. And you know, going back to the whole point where it seems like Rockstar just don't care about some of the issues people have, you know, God forbid there's like a new money glitch or something. That gets patched in like a day and a half, if that. Like, people out here just trying to freaking buy some damn cars, have some fun with their friends. They're just duplicating some vehicles, right? Oh no, that's against the law, man. Rockstar's coming after you. But then legitimate problems, and I'm not the only one who has had these. If you Google Kyle Perico Rockstar editor crashing, there's a number of other people who have had this problem. When you load up the Kyle Perico Island, any sort of clip from it, in the Rockstar editor, the game just crashes. Look, I'm loading up a clip from regular Los Santos. It's perfectly fine. And then what's gonna happen is when I load up the Kyle Perico clip, like 2 seconds into it, my game crashes. You can't see that in the recording because the recording also stops when the game crashes, but that's why it just abruptly goes to a black screen. This has been an issue since the DLCs come out 3 months ago, and Rockstar had yet to fix it. Where are the people fixing these problems? Like, people want to make cool cinematics on this island, but they literally can't because Rockstar's too worried about people getting an extra couple mil in their bank account. And here we have a story that was beautifully told in 3 separate pictures. This person just out there scoping the island. Now, I'm not really sure why they're in the middle of the ocean, but whatever. But wait a second. Look at the mini-map. What is this? There's a red dot. There's a cone. Well, they investigated it. What is that? That is a truck. Why is there a truck? Underneath the ocean? On the ocean floor? Well, look, that's why you were caught by the guards. What? What is going on in these pictures? This is what Rockstar said is the biggest update ever. The guards are literally spawning in the middle of the ocean, and they're capturing people. I'm no game developer, but I feel like, yeah, that probably shouldn't be happening. And you know, speaking of the guards, here are 2 clips that people submitted, and I mean, you can literally survive death now, I guess. This person jumps off of the freaking tower and lives because of the stupid guards catching him. Like, he literally got caught midair, and that caused him to live. And then the best one is this guy. This person literally dies. There's a wasted screen. It fades to black. And the Kyle freaking guard's like, nah, come back, bitch. You're going back to the airplane. Again, $1 billion company making this game. Now here we have a clip. It's always good to see this from Afro World on Twitter. You know, you thought you've seen it all, but then this happens. Whose genius idea was it at Rockstar to code into the game that a freaking helicopter should spawn in a barn? $1 billion company. And then my favorite clip to end on, we have this one from Josh. He has developed Magneto powers. The X-Men are a part of GTA Online. Seriously, if anyone can explain that last clip, be my guest. But thank you guys for watching. That's going to do it for this week's episode. If you, again, have your own Rockstar Logic you want to submit, just tweet it with the hashtag Rockstar Logic, and I will see it.
Try it my way first.
Yeah, I lied.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Ben 10 characters went berserk.
He's pure evil.
He's all I've got! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Soon, even that old field body will be gone.
For this list, we'll be looking at the moments from the Ben 10 franchise where both heroes and villains were overwhelmed by intense rage, their own power, or performed extreme actions to accomplish their goals. Are there any moments when a Ben 10 character went off the rails that you think deserves a spot on this list? Ben 10 Omniverse.
Hey, Ugly, we were just talking about you.
Grandpa Max may be an ideal role model, but the same can't be said for his former partner Phil.
You always were too smart for your own good, Max.
While Max is selfless and heroic, Phil is a selfish individual who is even willing to betray his own comrade for personal gain. After spending years trapped in the Null Void, Phil returns an even bigger threat than before.
Max, help! Help!
Following a failed experiment involving the Nematrix, Phil acquires the power to transform into an alien-predator hybrid. Along with an insatiable hunger for electricity, Phil also becomes more violent and ruthless, to the point where he claims that there is nothing left of his former humanity.
Soon, even that old field body will be gone.
Number 6. Ben Tennyson and Rex Salazar versus Alpha. Ben 10, Generator Rex, Heroes United.
You guys are our best hope. We're doomed.
You know a villain is dangerous when it requires the greatest heroes from two different universes to defeat them. The Alpha Nanite is one such villain.
Power to change life itself. What foolishness to give my brothers such a command.
After escaping from the Null Void and causing mass chaos, Ben and Rex Salazar confront Alpha for one final battle. Along with absorbing millions of nanites, Alpha steals power from the Ultimatrix, allowing him to transform into a variety of nightmarish forms.
Your machine is most interesting. Perhaps within I can find a suitable host.
If that wasn't bad enough, Alpha's rampage soon reaches cataclysmic levels after it absorbs Rex's Omega Nanite, turning it into an even bigger monster capable of destroying the world.
The Omega Nanite is mine.
Number 5. Ben 10,000 Rages. Ben 10.
Trying to finish you once and for all.
Although Ben grows up to become one of the universe's strongest heroes, this also results in a more dangerous rogues gallery. In one alternate future, Ben faces his old nemesis Kevin 11, who returns more powerful and more twisted than ever before.
With all that time in the Null Void, I was able to absorb a few tricks.
When Kevin's strength proves too much for Ben to handle, Ben's son Ken and Kevin's son Devlin try to help.
Dad, stop! You proved you're the best! We can go now!
Though noble, their efforts prove to be in vain, as Kevin easily defeats them. Unfortunately for Kevin, this also has the effect of infuriating Ben. With his second win, Ben unleashes his rage onto Kevin with the father of all beatdowns. Number 4, the Nalgian Destructor, Ben 10 Alien Force.
Careful, Ben.
It's hard enough to defeat advanced alien tech that imitates any action you make, but when you add the Friedel brothers into the mix, you get a recipe for disaster.
It appears that you've got something that belongs to us.
After stealing a device known as the Nalgian Destructor, the Vriedel's violent actions cause the device to get a taste for destruction, causing it to go on a rampage in downtown Bellwood. However, what's probably more surprising is the fact that the device is not actually a weapon, but rather a children's toy.
We were on an afternoon excursion to the lower dimensions, and she must have dropped it out of her carriage.
If a toy was capable of causing so much damage, one can only imagine what a true Nalgian weapon can do.
This toy is clearly marked, not for children under 3 million years old.
Number 3, the Ultimates Rebel, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Although the Ultimatrix is one of the most powerful inventions ever created, it's far from perfect. In fact, one of its biggest flaws almost causes Ben's demise.
Ben, calm down!
My name's not Ben.
When Ben starts acting crazy after transforming into Ultimate Humongosaur, he's pulled into the Ultimatrix where he discovers that his ultimate forms are actually alive. What's even worse is that the Ultimates believe Ben has imprisoned them, and that the only way to free themselves is to destroy him.
You can't control us. Not ever again.
Although he attempts to reason with them, Ben is unable to quell the Ultimates' rage. It isn't until he sacrifices himself that Ben finally frees the Ultimates from both their prison and their hatred. Number 2, Jennifer Nocturne Loses It, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Once a great hero, Captain Nemesis's jealousy of Ben causes him to fall from grace after he kidnaps Ben's girlfriend Julie, along with actress Jennifer Nocturne.
Do you have the gauntlet?
I found it right where you said.
Good girl.
However, rather than feel threatened by Nemesis, Jennifer ends up falling for him, and not in a good way. Suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, Jennifer's obsession with Nemesis reaches its peak after she helps him to escape from prison so that he can get revenge on Ben. As a result of her actions, Nemesis goes too far.
Your time is up.
All the while, Jennifer's morals worsen to the point where she not only attacks and injures Ben, but is even willing to take his life.
He's pure evil.
He's all I've got!
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. It Should Have Been Me, Ben 10, Secret of the Omnitrix.
She sacrificed herself to save me. Should have been me. Should have been me.
Ghost Freak's Influence, Ben 10.
So
been so vicious?
You're trashing the whole gym! Are you trying to ruin my chances of getting accepted here? Then answer me!
Not here.
Raph goes into the belly of the beast, Ben 10 alien force.
Eating babies is not cool.
Kyber goes berserk, Ben 10 Omniverse. Deca eats meat, Ben 10 alien force.
For our species, eating meat is bad.
How about we talking here?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kevin Levin goes crazy, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien.
Hands off the baby. Levin.
Due to the nature of his powers, Kevin cannot absorb too much energy without becoming a danger to himself and others. He learned this the hard way when he was a kid. While his transformation was certainly intense, even that moment pales in comparison to his other transformation years later. To stop the evil Aggregator from absorbing the powers of a baby celestial sapien and ruling the universe, Kevin absorbs the power of the Ultimatrix.
Let's see who's weak after I take your powers too.
As a result, Kevin loses control of himself, turning into a power-hungry monster driven by madness and revenge. As a result, Kevin goes berserk, attacking not just his enemies, but his closest allies as well. Things got so bad that Ben was willing to end it right then and there.
I'll try to make this as quick and painless as I can. Sonic Doom!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 coolest aliens from the Ben 10 franchise.
Hey everybody! Did you miss me? Team Alien X! Let's move!
For this list, we're counting down the coolest of Ben Tennyson's many alien alter egos from across this franchise. Which alien form was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20, Gray Matter. He might not be as big or as strong as Ben's other aliens, but what this little guy lacks in brawn, he more than makes up for in brains. Gray Matter has a vast intelligence that makes him capable of creating weapons from spare parts and fixing even the most complicated alien technology. His small size even comes in handy when fitting into tight spaces to tinker with or repair something.
Wonder what would happen if I did this.
Don't let appearances fool you when it comes to Ben's Gallon form. Gray Matter is one of his coolest and most useful aliens.
Rewire this coupling here and...
Everything is back to normal again.
Number 19, Ghost Freak. Coming straight out of your nightmares is this freaky phantom. Relying on the abilities you'd expect from traditional ghost lore, Ben can fly, phase through solid matter, become invisible, and even possess living things while in this form. Oh, and he has a chilling voice to go along with his haunting physique.
Well, so far so good.
Not just any old spirit, Ghost Freak is based on the DNA of the crafty and villainous Ectonurate Scare. When going up against the things that go bump in the night, Ghost Freak is on hand to bump back.
You want to see something really scary?
Number 18, Locks. Introduced in the first first episode of Ben 10 Omniverse. This alien is known as a Segmenta sapien, and is easily one of the coolest transformations in Ben's arsenal.
Let's see what this lady can do.
Lox has a segmented body which can shift, extend, and build into various forms and weapons, which turns Ben into the ultimate Lego set. Even if he's not the strongest alien in the Omnitrix, who wouldn't want to turn their body into indestructible blocks? Number 17, Blitzwolfer.
That man-face nickname? I meant it in a nice way.
What's better than a werewolf? An alien werewolf. Equipped with sharpened senses, incredible agility, and an ultrasonic howl, the entity originally known as Ben Wolf is a creature of the night capable of tracking and hunting down any unfortunate prey. Unlike most of the aliens Ben has on hand, his transformation into Blitzwolfer can take hours, a fact that only adds to his werewolf-like qualities. We're glad this Laboan badass was given a chance to shine in the later series, with one of its more memorable moments being that time it fought a ninja on top of Big Ben.
Good boy.
Number 16, Ripjaws. Though he was pretty much forgotten about after the original series, this aquatic alien definitely deserves some love as one of Ben's most unique and underrated aliens.
You wanna mess with a monster? Try young for size.
On top of having a kick-ass design that looks straight out of an old monster movie, Ripjaws can breathe underwater and swim at great speeds. But his real strength lies in his eponymous jaws, which are capable of ripping apart even the toughest metals. Ripjaws also has the neat ability to transform his fishtail into legs and a loincloth. An interesting design choice that's just one of the many reasons we love this amphibious alien.
No problem. Ripjaws in the house.
Number 15, Wild Mutt. He may not be like any earthly canine, but that's what makes him such a beast. While not as cognitive as some of Ben's other forms, Wild Mutt is a savage when it comes to fighting, with a superior sense of...
It's the weekend. It's Saturday now.
This moth-like creature is armed with various cryokinetic powers, wings capable of flight, and the ability to turn
Which I'm
into
enjoying.
all of which have proved incredibly useful in both combat and stealth situations. While the Omniverse redesign of the character was not particularly well received, Big Chill is still one of Ben's greatest aliens.
So much for that theory.
Number 7, Alien X.
Team Alien X, let's move!
If there's an alien god, it might just look something like this. Undoubtedly the most powerful alien in Ben's arsenal, Alien X, a celestial sapien, has complete control over time and space, able to warp reality in any way he sees fit. Unfortunately, there is a huge drawback. Ben isn't the only consciousness controlling the omnipotent being, and any disagreement between the three personalities leaves the body motionless and open to harm. Although that's a double-edged sword, when you can will an entirely new universe into being, the payoff might just be worth it. Number 6, feedback. Feedback means a whole